Good evening, guys. We're rolling into July. Bucks have got a large portion of their antler development going on. We're putting cameras out. We're going to go over those topics for this episode so you guys can start getting pictures of the bucks that you're going to be targeting this deer season.
I've said it before, you'll hear me say it again, I will continue to say it. Help the deer do what deer want to do.
Good evening, guys. We're in summer right now. It's hot out. Bucks have got a large portion of the antler development that they're going to have for this growing season. You know, we're rolling into July here, and the flex is out. We're putting cameras out right now because, guys, it's that time of year that we all get super excited for. You know, we're driving around, we're seeing deer, starting to see bucks with good antlers. You know, how are we gonna gather intel this year, and especially how are we gonna gather intel different than in years past? You know, I don't want this series to just be, you know, last year's episode all over again, where a lot of the key points are important. You know, we've got new people that join in here all the time, and I want everybody to learn. But I want everybody that's watched the Building Whitetails in the past to learn from today as well. And I can bring valuable information to you guys that I'm learning along the way as well, or have, you know, learned in the past. So obviously you've got mineral sites, you've got feed location. If feed mineral is legal where you're at, it's a great tool to gather intel. You can pull deer, you can centralize deer, you can put them really strategically where you want them to a large extent. If that is not legal, and even in locations in states where it is legal, you know, you need to be doing more than that. You need to be a better manager than just dump a bag of mineral, put a camera on it, and not, you know, come back in a month or, you know, check on your phone. That's fine. But, you know, we're trying to do land management to the next degree and just continue to be students and continue to build our knowledge. So crop rotation is huge. Generally speaking, I'm a row crop farmer. This is what I do for a living. Generally speaking, we don't plant the same crop in the same field every year. Sometimes we do, but if a field is corn one year, oftentimes it's soybeans the next year. Those are the two king crops in the Midwest. If you're not in the Midwest, you're just gonna have to pay attention, you know, whether you've got alfalfa, you've got, you know, whatever crops are in your area, you know, be paying super close attention to that. When you're driving around, notice, hey, deer are on this right now. Especially, you know, in our region right now, in the Midwest, deer are not in corn. They're bedding in corn, but they're not eating in corn. Soybeans are king. There's very little out there that's gonna draw a deer more powerfully than soybeans. So I'm watching soybean fields. If I've got a new property, first off, I'm gonna look for where are they bedding. You know, and this is just, you know, a 10,000 foot, 30,000 foot view on this. You know, a timber block, an area of pasture that's not grazed, an overgrown area, some CRP, something along those lines. Something that's out of the way, something that bucks are not being bothered in. That's a huge deal. Where can they go, where they can be left alone? I'm gonna drop a pin on that. I'm gonna drop a pin. If there's soybeans, I'm gonna drop a pin on soybeans. And then I'm gonna be looking for alfalfa and so on and so forth. Those two, that's money. You're gonna have deer on it. You know, and I'm gonna draw a line between the two. And you gotta remember, it's hot, and you and I don't like to go out and, you know, walk a long ways in the heat of the day. It's not comfortable. Bucks are gonna be the same way. They're not gonna travel, you know, a half a mile for the most part. I say that, and then someone will send me a message and be like, hey, if this buck traveled a half a mile. For the most part, deer are not gonna be doing that. They're gonna be bedding close to food, oftentimes within just a couple hundred yards or less. I have seen even less. I've seen them bed in the beans before. So yeah, I'm looking for corners, inside corners, where a buck can still feel safe. You know, where he's got some cover, he's got protection. It's also a geographical intersection. I'm also looking for S-curves. These have been, we did videos of these in the past, where a creek does an S. Bucks are going from the shortest point, the shortest route possible from point A to point B, the path of least resistance. It might be an open gate in a fence line that they'll go to and, you know, things of that nature. You're trying to look for just these little things that are gonna just up your game that much. Spotting scope and binoculars can be just so helpful when you're learning a new property or observing a property that you've hunted for a while, because you can get back a long ways and get a good idea of what deer are doing. Just playing it patient, just for a few days or a week or two, watching what deer do before you go in and put a camera and walk around all over the place guessing what these deer are doing. If you can know where bucks are coming out, whether it's a corner, a creek crossing, a specific trail, a driveway entrance, if you know that before you go in, you can take this camera, you know exactly where to put it, you put it on that tree and you get out of there, and let that camera work for you. Okay, so we went over trail cameras. Shifting gears, we're gonna run through real quick what to do, because guys, it's time to prepare for fall food plots. I've got a burn down being sprayed food plot behind me, getting the weeds killed out so that I can come in with a fall blend, whether it's a blend of products, the cereal grains, your radishes, turnips, clover, peas, whatever it might be. I recommend a blend of things, a diverse group of food groups out there. It's something that's just, I've seen year in and year out where, I think it really benefits a land manager to put as much diversity out there as possible. Make sure to start into a clean seed bed. Guys, we're gonna cover fall food plots in the next episode, but I wanted to just make a point to say, hey guys, be thinking about it. Go ahead and start spraying your plots, getting them burned down. That way you've got a great seed bed going into this fall to really help your success with your fall plots. And we'll cover that later on, but just wanted to throw that out there. So appreciate everything, guys. It's an exciting time of the year. I have not been this excited for a deer season in a long time, really. I probably say that every year, but this one feels extra special. Kind of had some things fall into place that made it feel that way for me. I hope it's a great deer season for everyone, but let's work together, let's learn together, let's be students of the land of the deer, and put all these things that we learn together to help us become better land managers. Where's a likely spot that these deer are bedding that they're gonna feel safe in? I'm gonna drop a pin on that. Where is the soybeans? I'm gonna drop a pin on that. I'm gonna draw a line right between the two, and you're not gonna get it perfect, but oftentimes you're gonna be looking at an inside corner, an intersection, an area, we talked this, check out S-curves. It's an episode I did in the past, inside corners and S-curves. Deer.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty big body. You see that sprig coming up just past it?
Oh yeah.